Hey everybody, Brent Touchstone here. Today I'm doing a video on some of the basic rules of composition. These are rules that you can apply with your cell phone, DSLR, point and shoot. Doesn't matter. Alright, let's dive right in. First we have the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is taking your image and breaking it up into 1/3 lines and taking your focal point and putting it either on an intersection or along a line. Horizons also work really well if you put them on these lines. As you can see here, we have the tip of the barn on an intersection and this 1/3 line going straight through the mountain range. Really helps balance things out for the eye. It's a lot more pleasing than just putting your main subject matter right in the middle of the frame. For this next example, I got the Space Needle. Put it here on a 3rd line, and then we have another 3rd line going right through the sky rises in the background. And one more example, got some food photography. This rule really works for anything. It works for food photography, product, portrait, landscape. And here we go, we got intersection on the eggnog, intersection on the pie slice, and intersection on the whole pie. Really balance things out and just, it's been studied. It's pleasing to the eye. Just take my word for it, give it a shot. Next time you're taking your images, try this rule out, see what you think. Next we're going to cover the rule of symmetry, basically having a symmetrical image left to right or top to bottom. You see here, if we take a line, put it down the middle of the screen, the left and right are very similar in shape. The trees make a diamond pattern. And then the corners have these triangles, all meeting in the middle. Just really balances out the image and makes it look nice. Our minds are geared to like things that look symmetrical, so give it a shot, see what you think. Here we have this bull snake, and if we draw a line right down the middle of the image, takes his face right in half and it looks symmetrical left to right. We got some other things going on as well. While not perfect symmetry, we have similar things going on both sides of the image. We have an S curve in the body on both sides. We got similar lighting and shadows, just really balances things out. Moving on. Can't get much more symmetrical than a mirror. Well, not a perfect mirror because the wind was blowing a little bit. We have a reflection of the mountain, top to bottom. I included the grass in the foreground as an artistic touch, but still you have a symmetrical image, and it's used quite often in photography. Leading lines is another one of our basic rules of composition, or things you want to look for when you're taking an image. You have the fence and the trail leading you back towards the rock formation. It just kind of helps guide your eye to your main focal point. You can kind of imagine the line going on, taking you over here to the sunrise colors. For our next example, we have a couple leading lines. We've got shadows and a road pointing towards Long's Peak. And then you can pick the road up again over here, follow the S curve back, take you straight to the peak. Good example of leading lines, getting your eyes to follow through the image, take everything in, but ultimately land where your focal point is. Here, this is pretty simple leading line, straightforward, coming in from the bottom of the frame, leading towards the center. Look up, there's your mountains. And there's some good examples of leading lines. Contrast, this is one of my favorite things to do, is look for contrast in an image. And we're talking about Cool colors versus warm colors. Colors are opposite on the color wheel, red and green, blue and orange. And in this example, we're talking about highlights versus darks, or shadows versus light. Get out in the early morning or late evening, look for that side lighting, or in the middle of the day if there's clouds with the sun poking through. Look for the highlights to land on your points of interest. Gotta wait sometimes. I waited quite a while for this one, and makes for a striking image. This was all kind of just rubble, rocks and stuff. It wasn't that interesting, but when I waited for the lighting to hit the peaks, it really took it to another level. Lights versus shadows. And you can't get much more simpler than black and white when you're talking about contrast. Now a lot of times if the lighting's real hard, middle of the day, black and white image can work in your favor. It's high contrast lighting and you're taking a black and white, which is opposing colors, can make for quite a striking image. And last rule we're going to talk about today is probably my favorite, and that is fill the frame. So here I got real close to this elk. No, I didn't get real close to this elk. I zoomed in with a 500mm lens and focused on the elk's face. I took the picture from the safety of my car, but I really just wanted to see his face because it was such a striking character. Put his eye smack in the middle of the frame, something that's done in portraits. And I really just wanted to see that texture and just have his face take up the whole frame. That's one example of fill the frame. The next example is something like this, and just fill in the frame with nothing but what you want in the frame, leaving out all distractions. There's no rocks that are half off frame, half in frame. There's no tree branches reaching in. It's a view of only what I want to include in the image. A lot of times in photography, it's about what you leave out, not what you include. For our last example, we're going to talk macro, and that's having a macro lens. A lot of your kit lenses or even your cell phone can do macro. Just getting real close, get that texture, get that detail. That is my first 5 composition tips, rules for photography. Help you get out there, take some better images. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead, hit the likes and the thumbs up. Helps me out. Turn on those notifications. Don't miss anything in the future. All right, thanks for watching.